Hi there, I'm Pegs. I'm here with you today to be able to share some information on what's happening in this beautiful U.S. holiday called Columbus Day, October 9th, 2023. And on the wakening hours of the market, we are justifying what's going to be able to happen out there. And people are a little bit nerve-wracking as to what is going to move. What are we going to see? What's happening? Are we in danger? Where should I put my money? A lot of my friends are reaching out to me in regards to this as well. One that kind of struck me, because you guys know me, I'm big into the commodities market, and I totally support 100% because I am a long-term holder. I am not a short stringer, including that with my cryptocurrency as well, which I'm not going to be crypto gal today, and that will be on another video. Make sure you join me on YouTube. You can get all of these videos downloaded for yourself as well and be able to collaborate with me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to hear from me, and I'm happy to share with you guys. Please remember, I am not your financial advisor. I'm just here to give you my opinion, what I see, what I'm focusing on, because I like to focus on one thing because there's just a gazillion out there is my word I like to use, of what nature holds. For one that brought up to me for this Columbus U.S. holiday stands out to me. It looks as though the next generation of computing and the next generation of nuclear energy could go hand in hand. Yeah, this is a little bit scary because when you say the word nuclear, people totally freak out. This is a substance that it's a necessity. And of course, our governments have just mindset us to make us think that this is something that is a danger set, right? But nuclear is used in so many different facilitations of this. Microsoft itself is reportedly eyeing the possibility of powering AI, artificial intelligence. And if you don't know what that word is, that is your homework for the day to make sure you go and look it up because it is here, people. It's been here since the 50s and 60s. It's just now prominent because now we can use it. One of these factors is with nuclear energy. This will require, though, more energy than traditional ones with small modular reactors that can produce nuclear power on much of a smaller scale than the normal traditional plants, which we normally see these huge cone-shaped things, I'm going to say, out in the fields all over our countries globally. That's on top of the other links of the tech companies that has with nuclear energy, and its illustration of how nuclear power is entering a new age as the world seeks to decarbonize its economies to fight climate change. Yes, and you can remember this back in the days of the G20 summit to the meetup in 2020. The theme, yes, a theme is created for each summit meeting in 2020 was realizing opportunities of the 21st century. Well, here we are, beautiful people, to make life better for all. In this discussion and money set up from participating virtually as a mindset due to COVID. Billions of dollars were pulled in for the energy sourcing of the global economy and a forced recognition by the year 2030, 2035, with major conversions beginning in 2023. Here we are, with completed values starting and showing forth globally by 2025. Which is where our commodity of my known mindset is in uranium, to create a better value in conserving energy, sourcing nuclear waste, which is where Microsoft plays in and has since COVID. To enhance an international coordination, now let's step back, and here's another homework for you. The Paris Agreement could be complemented by a carbon price floor among large emitters. 3. This arrangement could be highly effective in curbing emissions, be easier to negotiate with a few players, address free rider issues through simultaneous action, involve lower price requirements or transfers for developing countries, and flexible enough to accommodate alternative policies with equivalent emissions outcomes to floor price. So next, I want to be able to share with you guys what we're looking at in this value screen. And one of them that I definitely want to pull up with you that is uranium. This is looking at it on trading economics, one of my favorites, especially when we're looking into the commodities market. And you can see looking at this overall for 1 year, it has definitely risen itself into 72.750. These are different values of showing for where these exchanges come into, where they lie in for the day, the month, the year, and to date on a price timeline. It's super important that you do your research, know where you want your values to be for your different scalabilities. I think this is something that is a necessity for all to be able to share with that. So let me open up the screen for you now. And let's get up there, open that sucker up. Okay, here we are. So looking at uranium, 72.750, which you can look at this and stepping back. Now, this is going into 2023, okay? 49.849, January 26th of 2023. We have definitely done a scalability of moving uranium. So this is showing what I was talking about earlier with Microsoft. Since COVID, step back in time of the G20, making this a better source of the generalization of the century change. So when we're looking at this market values, stepping back in time, it has definitely increased itself. Now let's just take a glance over a 5-year. Where is it going? This is uranium alone, people. We can step back into many other indicators of what the values are and what this is shared upon. I just think it's super important for us to be able to know what we're looking at for these predictions and where we're standing for in our grounds for that. It's something that is definitely noted to all. And one of the things that another market value that we had shared into was looking into, hold on just a minute. I am trying to find another screen to be able to share with you guys that I feel like is super, super important. And that is, let me open up this energy source form, because I think it's something that is playing a huge factor into what we can share for others as well. So here we go. Oh, I'm so sorry for the delay, but you guys know me. I like to take my time and make sure it's done right. Okay, this is something that was done in 2021. 97.3 quads. This is estimated U.S. energy consumptions. I find this really interesting. Okay, so let's just kind of educate ourselves, because you guys know I'm all about the little man because I'm a little man. Here's residential 11.7 consumption, commercial 9.07, industrial 26, transportation 26.9. So these different levels of showing energy services, right? This is showing for what it could be for rejected energy, 65.4. And what you can see these pipelines as they draw out for themselves, different knowledges. Solar, look at this. I mean, more and more people are getting involved in solar, and I think they should. I am. I think it's a necessity. It's one that can be created for those, and it feeds and funnels into, here's our friend, nuclear. Don't freak out. Don't let it conserve you here. But when you go in this basis line and you break it down electrically, you can see where this forms into residential, industrial, commercial, and it feeds into these services. Look at this one streamline here of what we're still targeting on with coal, which is one of the things that G20 definitely wants to reduce itself out onto. I just kind of found this pretty interesting. And of course, petroleum, I mean, you know, it's the driver. I mean, we're in war now over freaking oil and gas. I mean, what is the necessity of this? And why are we doing this to each other's? You know, those big, huge, I call them the big propeller windmills with the windjammers out there, you know, it's a low number here. So these are things that we can definitely educate ourselves on, that I feel like we can streamline and make ourselves better. This is what I say, do your research, make sure you know what you're doing with your money. It's your value and your necessities of what you need. So don't be scared to use it that way either. I think it's super important for that to be noted. Okay, let's go on and finish our conversation with this to be said. An interesting take from the 2021, like I said, when we were in 2023, now going with the GDP, of promising factors from our governments from COVID to determine its needs globally. This is our outcome of what we're coming out of from COVID, right? And when the G20 leaders agreed to pursue tripling renewable energy capacity globally by 2030, 2035, and accepted the need to phase down, here it is, what I just showed you, on that past photo was the coal, an unabated coal power, but stopped short by setting major climate goals. The world's 20 major economies have had disagreements on commitments to reduce fossil fuel use, cut greenhouse gas emissions, and increase renewable energy targets. Be warned of your investing moving forward. And if you do, watch your scalability in the hedge line as an investing term of the day is all I'd like to give you with. Economic depression, a period of sharp and sustained decline in economic activity that typically includes negative gross domestic product growth. There's that GDP. If you don't know that, there's another homework for you. And a substantial rise in unemployment, poverty, homelessness, and this is globally, not just the United States of what I'm talking about. During the economic depressions, the stock market dropped significantly, and there is a large uptick in personal and business bankruptcies. We see it, empty buildings everywhere to prove this coming out of COVID. The U.S. hasn't experienced an economic depression since the 1930s. Ooh. Economists and government officials learned from the Great Depression, and the government now employs several key defensive strategies to prevent recessions. Oh, let's turn on the printing machine. Oh, let's have a battle over digital currency. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. From transitioning to the Depression. Expansions of the monetary policy includes cutting interest rates, which discourage saving and hoarding and encourage investing and borrowing to stimulate the economic growth. Expansions in the fiscal policy involves measures such as government stimulus, spending, and tax cuts, policies that essentially use taxpayers' dollars to stimulate the economy. Finally, the government can stabilize the financial system by guaranteeing bank deposits, which is what I just said, turn on the printer machine, and providing liquidity to the credit markets, because we are now in a crunch down to the stock market. Watch those short terms. In my opinion, is the long term and hold, but with a value like in the long haul of ETFs. What is an ETF? Again, let me explain that. An exchange traded fund, ETF, is a type of an investment fund, an exchange traded product. They are traded on the stock exchanges, now even involved in cryptocurrency. ETFs own financial assets such as a stock, a bond, currency, future contracts, and my favorite of all, and/or commodities such as the gold bars. Yes, please pay attention to your commodities market. This leads into our infrastructures. My favorite of all is the value of necessity globally commodities for the long term. I'm Pegs, coming at you with my opinion only. I am not your financial investor or advisor, just one that likes to read and research and share with those that do not take the time to do so and believe in their governmental banking operations. Please, I encourage you, before you spend, invest your time. It is your future. I am Pegs, and I am signing off with you today, and I hope that you have a fabulous day. Take care of your sweet selves, and I will see you on the next video.